Hello and welcome back to Save Your Coins. Sorry I was gone for a couple weeks, but I'm here now. This is a show about cheap and good and new games on Steam. But before I talk about any of that, I want to talk about three things. One, I just had an RX bar. It's some sort of nutritious protein bar. Horrible. Don't eat it. Number two, I was on a show called The Casual Hour with Chase Kinnicky and Bobby Peace. Link in the description for that. I talk about this show, kind of the state of Save Your Coins, maybe some ideas that I have for it, but check that out. Link in the description. And number three, listen, I like making this show, but I need help promoting it. So if you have a favorite forum or like a Reddit or a Twitter, anything that you use to post things you like, post my show. I think that's a good idea. I do that on my things. I think you should do it on your things. No, but really, that would really help me out if you were to share this show. All right, so feeling a little rusty. I say we get to it. Not a lot of games this week. They all fit on one page. There are 6. One of them is not in English. So I had to enter my age for a Hive Swap friend sim. I don't really know why. The characters are drawn all super weird. She has 3 eyes, and the third eye's not where you'd expect it. But again, it's a game where you talk to people, and that's boring. I don't know much about this one, but it looks well made. This is Shine G Has Nightmares. This is the 4th work of the Shine G series, so I guess if we play this one, we wouldn't know what happens in Shine G 1 through 3. The game is between roguelike and ARPG with moderate. That's it. It just ends right there with moderate. Well, this guy's review says, it's good if you want to try to get high scores with other friends, but good for a classic RPG. I think he meant to put a not here. No, I like its flow. You know, it kind of looks like a gauntlet thing. Maybe a Zelda-ish thing. Quanect is a first-person puzzler. Does it look familiar to you Portal friends out there? I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll pass on this one because I'm kind of done with first-person puzzle games. Actually, I don't know. This one may be good to talk to with somebody. I don't know who my guest is yet, but they might be interested in this, so we will have to see. This is their first game, whoever developed this. Drop the Bomb looks unique, like a board game in Steam. I like that. Yeah, a lot of countries on the screen right now. I like Risk. I like games like this, but I would rather not play this right now. Overchunked looks fun. I mean, it looks pretty, I guess. I like the style of it. Overchunked is a fast, addictive game about a giant circular saw. You know, I don't think there are enough games that represent circular saws, so this is probably a good bet. Constantly moving forward and spitting stuff. The perfect distraction to relax while grinding your way towards your best score. I like the look of this one. I kind of want to play this just for myself, but I feel like on the show we've covered way too many just high score attack games, and maybe I need to cover something with a little bit more depth. Yeah, that's something to think about. And from what I can tell, Time Crosser Joan of Arc looks like a Fire Emblem knockoff. I mean, it doesn't kind of, it is a Fire Emblem knockoff from what I can tell. I would know more if the description said anything more than there is no English version. It will be coming soon. And this person, oh my goodness, this person has 79.7 hours and doesn't recommend the game. Not recommended, ratings 4 out of 10. Who spends 79 hours on a game and then goes, I streamed a game that was a first-person puzzler by Virgil Games or whatever they were, who made the first game, but I didn't record it for the show, so I might do this one, Quanect. It's a first-person puzzle game. Looks pretty decent, and who knows who I'll be playing with. Who knows? Okay, Grant, welcome back.
Hey.
To Save Your Coins.
Thanks for bringing me back.
No problem. This is Quanect. I think that's how you say it. I'm going to set the graphics to epic, and then we're going to talk about
epic. Okay, I have high expectations now that it says epic.
Yeah, can you tell how good this looks, my man?
Ooh, it's you know, it reminds me of Antichamber, which I like. It's a good, cool, clean graphical style.
I like that you go to Antichamber first. That's actually really endearing. Instead
what
of
do you go to first?
Portal. Just.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the more obvious one. Yeah.
Yeah, I never played Antichamber, so this is our. You can't call it a companion cube. This is our friend block.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't. I'm already bored. I'm already bored for us. I'm already bored for the viewer. I've done a few games like this on my channel before, where it's a first-person puzzler tries to go for that Portal look. I did one with a color paint gun.
Yeah, I remember the one where you spray colors on things. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, it was neat. It had personality, which is good. This game does not.
Okay.
Quanect is $3.99. And there are no voices, which is fine. It's whatever. But you know the good things about Portal Like, what would you say are the good things about Portal?
The good things about Portal, the design of it makes me feel like a genius. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some character, especially the first one. And I never like run into a wall or feel frustrated. You feel like you're always playing with the fun physics and kind of gradually making forward progress and seeing new things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I agree with all that. One of my favorite things about Portal is how the platforming is...
Oh, you found a... Whoa, what is this?
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
The platforming's fun in Portal, and it's first person, and that's hard to do. Mm-hmm. This game is not fun to platform, and so I picked up this gun. You'll notice the interesting part about it is the shattered glass.
Yeah.
You right click to go between two worlds. So this is like A Link to the Past, but
dark world, light world. Okay.
Yeah, and so you get to see the other world through that lens of the broken glass.
Yeah, I'm already like kind of so reflexively I'm leaning my head to the left to be like, can I see a little more through the glass?
Right. So
okay.
I noticed. Yeah, exactly. I noticed whenever I was playing this, the left side of my face was kind of leaning towards the screen because I was like, I can only see through that thing.
Yeah.
So that's neat. I mean, you have to think about how this is made. There's two game worlds running at the same time. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of cool. That's about it, though. I think it's a little bit too confusing. I don't know. I think
I'm a little confused right now.
Yeah, this is
watching the screen. Like, I understand what's happening as far as you click the button and then you switch between worlds. But like, when I look at the screen, I'm like, okay, so can you walk through that wall right now or not?
Right. These tunnels. Actually, now that I see it again, I played this probably about 30 minutes before we started talking. In hindsight, this is a horrible way to start this game, because every other test chamber or room, that's sorry, just it comes back to me.
That's a trademark. What, you can climb?
No, that was an elevator. But every other room in this game is open. It's like this big, and so to lock you in a tunnel, Lost Woods style, Ocarina of Time, is not very fun.
Kind of Lost Woods, yeah.
So it's still kind of unclear about how the puzzles flow at this point, but I tell you what, don't step on the black surface.
Okay. What happens when you do?
I think you get a death. You die, but you don't get a death animation.
There's not an animation. That's weird. So wait, if you were in the dark world, can you tell that, hey, if you switch back right now, it's going to be an instant kill under you? You
could look at the lens, I guess, to the light world. See, like right now I'm standing where light world would be bad time.
Exactly. Like that's the thing to me is like, it's not really clear that if you flip back right now, it'll kill you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I see how this puzzle works and how they kind of want you to think, but yeah. You know what this game makes me want to do is buy some big graph paper. Just big white graph paper.
And do what with it?
I don't know. Draw something. That's just all I can think of as I'm looking at the walls of this game. It looks like it's made out of graph paper.
Yeah, it doesn't get very inventive past this, which is fine, but on a live stream, though, I played like a $2 game. So the first game I ever played on the show was called Phantom Signal. The developers of that then doubled down and made a first-person like puzzle game like this.
Which one was Phantom Signal? What was the genre of that game?
Like Space Tower Defense.
Okay, I remember that.
So they made a first-person, I'll call it Portal-like, I guess. It's just really clean art style, but it had like a horror element to it, which was really neat. But yeah, this one doesn't have any sort of personality to it, and it doesn't get any better looking. I don't know.
Yeah, and of course, not that you're saying this, but it's not like every game needs to look good and have a ton of personality. It's fine if it doesn't, but it's not a lot going on there. Yeah,
there's a good, and we'll probably fast forward through maybe some of it, depending on if the conversation dies down, because there's a good 3 minutes where I just struggle with jumping in this game.
Okay. And that's what the funny thing is. So I think if I were playing this game for the first time, and I came on that first room with like the block and the button, I'd just kind of sit there for a while being like, so can I jump up here? Can I climb up here? Like, what can I do? What are my character's abilities?
I mean, it didn't tell me that I could need to hit E to activate switches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another one. Is like when you were throwing the cube, I'm like, so is the physics like you can hit it with a cube and it and it turns apparently not.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
Your friend cube comes back. Friend cube TN.
Your heavy friend cube.
Mm-hmm.
Massive friend cube. It has mass.
Oh, great. And we're in this
Not
room.
weighted. Are these portals?
These are portals.
Oh, okay. That's not very obvious, but
it's not
I
very
see that
obvious,
now.
and it's just very clearly a JPEG against a wall, which is fine. Like the
I mean, that's
character,
okay, but you know, like draw a line around it, maybe.
yeah, the character touches
Whatever.
that.
I've never made a game, but you know.
Yeah, the character touches that spot on the wall, and then the game moves your
teleports you
position
to wherever that spot sees. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really know what more to say
From
about
up
that.
here. Yeah.
So this one's cool because you try to there is a lot of jumping
Oh,
and
you
flipping
drop onto
the
that little
physics.
ledge in midair. Okay, that's kind of clever.
Yeah.
Get here and then you switch.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's okay. Yeah, it is fun.
I'll say that's a good time.
There's some. I'm sure there are good puzzles in this game. I feel like I'm being like super critical.
I am too. I mean, I'm not nice at this game, but it's also that the left half of the screen is.
Yeah, that's really bothering me.
I feel like maybe if I had to think about it more, I would rather like this gun be put away, and like you maybe hold down right
Oh
click.
yeah, hold a button, and now you're holding it like the lens of truth, right? Another Zelda reference there.
Yeah, there we go. Got him.
That would work. I was thinking of the same thing. Like, okay, the left side of the screen thing is confusing, but like, how else could you really do it? But yeah, that would make sense. Like, hold down the button to preview the Dark World.
Mm-hmm. Pull up your
I
binoculars.
never did play
and
that
Dark Souls.
3DS Link to the Past thing.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Everyone says it is.
Yeah,
I gotta try
it's really good. Like Link to the Past was kind of one of those I'll play it every Thanksgiving holiday games, and instead of doing that now, I think I would rather just go back and play through A Link Between Worlds.
You got a super jump. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Has a little springy sound effect.
For those watching, if you want a good like side conversation or a funny goof during all of this, look at the
Everyone
achievement
wants funny
titles.
goofs.
The achievement titles are top
Is it
notch.
just like 4?
Well, no, it's like I think the first time you press a button in, the achievement pops up and just says, "Oh, it's a button," and that's it. So
Oh, that's what it is. Do people still achievement hunt? Is that a thing, or is
I think
like
they do,
Xbox
but
360
never
days?
on Steam.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody. I don't think anybody does that on Steam, or at least I hope not, because it just feels loose and like less regulated.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I care a lot more about my PSN achievements than I do about my Steam achievements, even for the same games, like for Dark Souls. For whatever reason, it means a lot more for me to get them on PlayStation. Couldn't tell you exactly why.
Because they have gold, silver, platinum. It's fun.
Oh no! Fell all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, and
Or was that
here's
intentional?
here's where we need to find something else to talk about.
Okay, well, so did I tell you a couple things about Zelda? Did I tell you I finally got an SNES Classic?
Oh, you did. Where'd you find it, or how'd you get one?
Amazon. And the funny thing is, they're all on eBay, and they're like way over asking price. And then suddenly Amazon just got a whole bunch of them, and it was a lightning deal, so you can look at those and see what % of their stock is sold out. So I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh no, we got to get on this right away. And it was like 2% claimed. And by the end of the day, it was like 30% claimed. So I think at this point, like the people who really want one probably have one.
Yeah, it's been.
But,
I see Wario64 on Twitter tweet out SNES.
That's
Classic
where I
DS
found
all
it.
the
Yeah,
way.
I found it on Wario64 account. I was like, oh no, I got to get on this right now. But yeah, it was fine. So got one. I have of course played Link to the Past. It's a classic, great game.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten around to playing any of the RPGs that are on there. So that's Final Fantasy 3, or I have played Earthbound. I guess that one's on there. Secret of Mana and Mario RPG. I've been meaning to play for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah,
however long it's been, and I never have. So
I played through that a couple times, but if you start that anytime,
which
let
one?
me know.
Mario RPG.
Yes.
I think I'll start with Secret of Mana, but I'm not sure.
I feel like Secret of Mana was a game that.
Oh.
Oh yeah, and
Oh, no.
you'll later learn why that fall was extra stupid and bad. I
Do you
won't
have to go
spoil it yet.
reset it? Okay.
No, Secret of Mana was that. I mean, that era of RPGs, the most I probably played them was on like just emulators and stuff. And Secret of Mana, I don't think it either emulated poorly, or it just lost my attention really quickly. But that's like the RPG on that box that I'm the least interested in.
Oh, see, that was one where I watched a friend play it on an emulator, and I was like, this looks so cool, I need to play it, but I just never got around to playing it. I've always been curious. I like action RPGs. You know that. I'm a huge Souls fan, among other things. But I have not played all that many 2D ones, so excited for that one.
Yeah, I think I've played like 10 hours of Final Fantasy 3. That's good. That's a good one.
Good. I hope it holds up. I'm warming up more to JRPGs. I used to just not like them, so the kind of plus side of that is there's a ton that I haven't played. It seems like SNES is a good console for those. So.
I think Dark Souls kind of changed my opinion of JRPGs because, like, in between the boring over-presentation of some JRPGs, I get more in.
And by JRPG, by the way, it's a terribly defined term. I'm specifically referring to turn-based Japanese.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm thinking about too, but I get really bored of the story in games these days, and I think what helps me out with that style of game now is Dark Souls kind of pointed me in the direction of like, pay attention to those numbers a little bit more. You'll find fun in that, and I do.
I promise you'll find that fun. And then I also got the Breath of the Wild DLC, finally. Have you played that?
Yes, I've only tried the Master Trials once. That's the only thing about the DLC that I've done. Okay, so here's the weird part.
What are you supposed to do here?
I'm like, I can't jump into that door, but I'm going to try.
You just
and I'm like, damn it. But
no. There's a button.
There's a button and an elevator.
Oh, you could have done that earlier.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Okay, back to the game.
Okay. Yes.
So that's where I was upset with the first-person platforming. I tend to like.
I don't blame you. This is pretty early on too. Oh, 5 level. That's a great achievement title. Now this is an anti-chamber move right here. You're like looking in front of you. Oh, I'll walk towards the door. Haha.
Yeah. Nope, well, I read that as a developer being like, we're going to try to make it all sinister now, like Portal. I don't know. I see too much of that in games like this.
Oh, okay. Like, at first it was nice puzzles, but now the game wants you to lose.
Yeah, that's what I read into that. I don't
I could see some of that.
really know what's going on here either.
Did you just get, I think something went downward, and I don't know. Some things are moving. I don't know.
Yeah, this type of game, all the trailers for these first-person puzzlers, all the trailers are great.
That's like frosted glass. I couldn't tell what that was because we have two things on screen that are like dark and transparent, and they're both doing really different things.
Yeah, and
I didn't realize there was a piece of glass above your head until like just now.
And you probably didn't pick up earlier on. There was a lot of frosted glass preventing me from walking somewhere, and I didn't register that until later in the game. So if people want to rewatch this video. Yeah. Oh, this is frustrating as hell. So the portals, I'll tell you this now. This is the problem that I'm experiencing right now. The portals flip the world for you. So like I'm trying to jump. I'm going to try to jump through this portal and flip the world to land on another platform, but the portals automatically flip the world.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean by flip the world. So it's basically as if you're crossing through the portal and also hitting the like switch to light world button at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, so that portal has a dark world on the other side. It means you jump in the light world and come out in the dark. That is confusing.
Yep. I figured that out here soonish. I don't really remember. But no, let's talk about Super Mario RPG. Have you seen much of it?
No, I haven't. I've watched other people play it a little bit, and I have played through Paper Mario. I don't know how similar those are.
I'd say similar as far as like how the combat is, but presented completely different. One of the things I remember the most about Super Mario RPG are the sounds. A lot of
I like sound design in the game.
Yeah, you're a sound boy, and the sounds are super fresh. Like they sound like every food item in that game sounds
delicious.
Sounds delicious, yeah.
Refreshing.
Well, like think about you go to like a little frog kingdom. Or a kingdom with like tadpoles and frogs, and you get a drink called Kiro Cola. Doesn't that sound tasty?
Sounds nice. Yeah, it does. It's Kiro must mean frog or something, because there's an iOS game called Kiro Blaster, Kiro, and the main character is a frog. So I wonder Kiro means frog.
I won't look that up. I'm gonna accept that as truth.
Me neither. Good iOS game though. Same developer as Cave Story. I think I've told you about it before. I'm a huge Cave Story fan. So.
That's the one. Yeah, that one was like free, and then Cave Story Plus made it. Wow, I'm actually frustrated with myself watching this right now. Like, it took me a long time to figure out this puzzle.
I'll give you credit that I still haven't totally figured out the puzzle. Like, it looks like you know what the solution is. You're just trying to execute. I'm watching and I'm like, I don't know how to solve this. Honestly, I would have given up on the game at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have the patience to make it here.
Well, we have 5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, you're more patient than I am.
Well, you would...
Do you make it to a couple more puzzle rooms in this video?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, you're making some progress.
I think I do either 1 or 2 more. Some of there's a weird difficulty spike whenever it comes. Like, I think the developer was like, oh, they're not going to have problems with the jumping, because some of the other puzzles are pretty simple.
I feel like this game is a weird difficulty spike because all of what we're doing so far, I would not expect to encounter in the first 15 minutes of a game.
Yeah. So I get through 6 levels. There are 11 more hidden achievements for me to unlock. So that's my guess is how many, 27 levels maybe. Or sorry, 17 levels. That's how math works.
It looks like each level has 1 achievement with just the number of the level. Oh, their achievement unlocked. It was necessary to be careful. Yes, it was.
It was, yeah. Hindsight, right? That's the name of the next achievement.
Really? Okay.
No, not at all.
You got me. Oh, you died by stepping on that thing and then a loading screen happened. I think you said at the beginning, did you play any Antechamber at all?
I didn't, no.
It's rough, but it's really fun. I actually did end up playing all the way through it.
How's it rough?
I wouldn't necessarily... Rough as in... So we were talking about Portal. You know how Portal is one of those games that people point to a lot as this is very polished in terms of pointing the player in the right direction and running these puzzles over and over and over to make sure that you're getting clear hints, you know where you're supposed to be going, etc.
Yeah.
Antechamber has more of that than this game appears to, but not a lot. It's definitely easy to get in situations in Antechamber where you just don't know what to do next. Although it's a non-linear game, so you at least get to run somewhere else and try and figure out what to do.
That's nice.
But yeah, it is. It's good overall, but it's I probably wouldn't recommend it to many people just because it requires some persistence. But if you're the sort of person like me who gets really entertained by games that mess with your expectations, Antechamber is all about that. So I really liked it.
Nice. Yeah, I totally understand what you mean. Like, Portal is probably a game that's pointed at in design schools, like for video games.
Sure, yeah.
Like, here's how you teach a player a really hard concept, and that's hard to do. That's hard to mimic, at least.
Mm-hmm.
They put the Goomba there for a reason.
Stage 1 is a perfect tutorial. Yeah, again, I've never made a game, so, those who live in glass houses, but this jump here, we've got you're moving in one direction and then you gotta land on top of this moving platform. That is nasty.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then you can hit the side of it, like you go plonk on the side of it and you fall back down. So this is the last stage.
Okay.
6th level.
6th level.
So there are ceiling fans.
Ceiling fans.
Those are unique looking. I still don't really know how many there are. I think there are only 3.
Okay, so these oh no, one of them's Dark World ceiling fan. Okay.
And they overlap too. You see this?
This game is making me a little dizzy. Oh no, they do overlap. They clip into each other. Yeah, okay. No, this is... I think this is... You know what this makes me think of actually is Zen from Half-Life 1.
Yes, I was getting ready to bring up Half-Life right now.
Really?
Not really Zen, but there's a stage where you're jumping in between boxes that are hanging. Okay.
I don't remember that, so it must not have been that bad. We were talking about just first-person platforming in general earlier, and I feel like there was a period of time where everybody said, "Oh yeah, first-person platforming is horrible; it should never be in anything." And I feel like that was probably around Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 times that everybody was saying that. And since then, we've learned, like, you can do it.
I've never hated it. I can see how
Really?
this is bad. I still really like... I can tell, like, how... More so than... Actually, yeah, this is a really good point. I can tell where I'm jumping and how I'm going to land in a first-person game jumping than I can, like, a 3D Mario game sometimes. Because, I mean, there's that whole thing where they didn't make Mario's only attack in his games the jump because, you know, it's hard to land on something in 3D space.
It's...
Okay, so this is where I give up. I don't know where to take my friendly cube or my friendly box.
I don't know what to do with this puzzle either for me.
And I thought, wait a minute, I have a brilliant idea.
Okay.
I bet I have to smush it.
The cube. What happens when you smush the cube?
It looks cool, and it disappears.
It, like, clips out of existence.
But does it?
First.
But does it?
Does it?
Dun dun dun!
It respawned.
Yep, so that is... Wow, I really do forget the names of these games real quick. That was Quanect by a developer, and this was Save Your Coins. Grant, you do the music for this channel.
I do the music for this channel. I do the music for some other things as well. I just posted a new video on my channel, which is called Hyperobject, spelled ending in CKT.
Cool.
You should go check it out.
I will link to your most recent video or
Thank
your
you.
channel, depending on how the timelines work. So I'm going to throw it back to the beginning of this video. If you like this show, go ahead and share it around. That would help me out a lot. Bring more people to it, get more people watching this stuff. And, you know, the benefit of that is these tiny games get more exposure. And I'm sure that's what everybody wants.
I think it is.
Cool. So I will see you next week on Save Your Coins.
Hey, thanks for connecting me to this show again.
Nice. It's always good to connect.
See ya.
Bye.